Cop was down, that was it. The cop was down, and I only saw when they brought him out, he was bleeding. Guess the ambulance took too long, they took him in a police car and they rushed him off to the hospital, that was it.
As we said, a news conference is scheduled to begin any moment. We do not know how seriously wounded one officer is. The second policeman is expected to make a full recovery. That's the very latest from Jamaica Hospital. We're live. I'm Jennifer McLogan, Channel 2 News.
Okay, Jennifer, thank you. There were some scary moments at a school in Greenwich Village today as every student teacher was evacuated. The trouble started when noxious fumes started spreading throughout Our Lady of Pompeii School on Bleecker Street. Police say more than 20 children were treated at hospitals after they were overcome by fumes from a chemical used to clean the floors.
Gunfire half a world away has created a terrible tragedy today for two families in our area. A gunman opened fire in a hotel coffee shop in Egypt and killed 3 people, wounded 3 others. 2 of those killed were from New Jersey, one from Edison, the other from Rahway. We'll get the latest on the story now from Channel 2's Julian Phillips. He is joining us live from Rahway. Julian.
Well, Tony, Robert Louis Guida from Rahway and his partner, Corey Hoffman from Edison, New Jersey, were 20-year employees of the Brooklyn Union Gas Company. For these traveling engineers, traveling as consultants was a new venture, and apparently a very exciting one for Guida. Family friends tell us he never got a chance to travel as a child, so this was his golden opportunity. The tragedy here is neither one of these 2 gentlemen will be returning to this country the same way they left. Relatives say 45-year-old Robert Louis Guida and his wife Karen were close. You simply couldn't mention one without the other. The Guidis lived for their 4 daughters and made a comfortable life in the small town of Rahway. Robert devoting much of his off hours in service to the community.
It's a terrible loss to us. He was really very well loved in this church and in the community.
Their quiet life was shattered late last night as word reached home that Guida and his partner, 44-year-old Kobe Hoffman, were 2 of 3 people killed inside a coffee shop at the Semiramis Hotel in Cairo, Egypt. Both were on assignment for Brooklyn Union Gas.
Specifically in the Middle East, they were dealing with the Egyptian government and doing a feasibility study for the building of an Egyptian natural gas pipeline.
Egyptian authorities overpowered and took into custody a suspected Islamic fundamentalist, Sabar Farad Abul El Ella, reportedly angry. Abul El Ellas, who confessed to the shooting spree, allegedly shouting "God is great" in Arabic during the carnage, also killed a French national and wounded 4 others, including an American woman who was listed in critical condition in a Cairo hospital. Muslim militants began attacking tourists with the hopes of crushing Egypt's lucrative tourism industry as part of their campaign to overthrow Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak to create a Muslim state. Last night's casualties bring to 6 the number of tourists killed by suspected Muslim fundamentalists in Egypt this year. The Semiramis Hotel, the site of the opening peace talks between Israel and the PLO 2 weeks ago, stepped up security measures after a militant terrorist campaign that began in the fall of 1992. But it was not enough to save the lives of Hoffman and Guida.
2 of the nicest guys that have worked for Brooklyn Union in the 20-some-odd years I've been here.
He was such a great man, and that makes it even more hard that such a wonderful man and such a wonderful family could have this happen to them. You know, it's unbelievable.
But whether or not Abu Ila is a Muslim fundamentalist or just simply plain mentally unstable is unclear at this hour. But for whatever the reason the carnage, one thing remains clear. 2 towns and 1 company are mourning their losses. This is the latest victim against tourists and people visiting that country. Violence at this hour. We're live in Rahway, New Jersey. I'm Julian Phillips, Channel 2 News. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, Julian, thank you.
More to tell you about, and you won't believe who's backing Governor Florio in his race for re-election.
Later on tonight, death in the sky, choppers collide, and it was caught on videotape. Plus, is it a case of diet deception? A warning about some diet ads that you may have seen. We'll have that coming up.
Home Depot introduces a better window.